Let me summons your attention to the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1, and named Job, who lived in the land of Uz. He was blameless, a man of complete integrity. He feared God and stayed away from evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 teams of oxen, and 500 female donkeys. He also had many servants. He was in fact the richest man in the entire area. We're in this series, and I like to stay parked here for just this last Sunday, and that I judge, we love. Say it with me, we don't judge, we love. Today I like to use as a God is. You may have a seat. Here in our text today, we are introduced to a man in the East. Most would calculate his wealth. They would begin by measuring the amount of children that he had. Job, the Bible says, had 10 children. 10 children that lived possibly in their own home. Not only his children were as well. Secondly, the Bible records that Job has amassed a very large amount of livestock that appraised him as the richest person in the area. It was ever growing wealth. It was ever growing wealth because livestock continually breeds, and they continue to breed more. That was constantly growing. He's the richest man in his area. Many would say that Job was the richest man in the East because of his income. But God has another way that he appraises his greatness. In verse 1, God says he was blameless, a man of complete integrity. He feared God and stayed away from evil. And when the world estimates wealth, they calculate your income. But when God appraises your wealth, he looks at your integrity. The entire book of Job is about his integrity in the moments of his ill fortune. Job is a godly man. Job is a praying man. He's a man who avoids doing the things that displeases God. But even Job had to go through a test. Here's one thing that we don't like, but it is necessary, and that is testing. Well, the first thing you need to know that you'll never know what you really have, and if it's real, if it's never tested. Integrity is only not tested. If it's not tested, it'll never be able to be trusted. Integrity is only as strong as the test that it goes through. Just like a building, the integrity of a building is always noted by what kind of catastrophes it can withstand. Secondly, every test is a pathway to promotion. Whenever God allows a test to enter into your life, he's preparing you for the next level. How many know you're in a test right now? God is preparing you for the next level. The Hebrew word for test is nasa, which means is you. Anybody feeling that today? God is applying pressure to you. And sometimes God has to squeeze us like a toothpaste container to get us to our best and to get the best out of us. You may have thought that you had reached your bottom, and God says, I know how to squeeze you to the top. Sometimes God has to squeeze the mess out of you so God can get the best out of you. So here's an old age question. Why do good things or good people have to suffer bad things? You ever wonder about that? Why do people go through bad things when they are doing good? Job is about to suffer some things in his life that are unimaginable. And all of this is in the midst of him living with integrity. Has anyone ever been there before? You're doing everything right. Yes, and still dealing with trouble. Many people would like to judge him and say, it's because you're doing something wrong. But Job is going through his trial because he's doing something right. Can I help somebody real quick? All of your trouble is not because you're going through something. God chose to put Job through a test. It was because his integrity needed to be tested. We judge sometimes what God is juggling. God is juggling something. How many of you know God can be juggling something and folk can be judging you? Look how y'all looking at me right now. You're judging while God is juggling. What am I saying? Just because I'm being tossed around doesn't mean I'm wrong. Maybe God is moving me into a better position. He's throwing me up and he's catching me over here. But what is God doing? He's moving me into a better position. You may be judging, well, why is all this going on and why are things looking like they're at the bottom? But God says, I had to move you to the bottom so I could put you on the top. Somebody ought to be a witness here. God in front of the line. I wish I had a witness in here today. Satan comes before God one day and God asked him, where have you been? Satan's reply was, I've been to and fro throughout the earth. And then God introduced him to Job. In Job chapter 1 verse 8 through 10 says, then the Lord asked Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man in all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears God and stays away from evil. Satan replied to the Lord, yes, but Job has a good reason to fear God. You've always put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property, and you have made him prosper in everything he does. Look how rich he is. Have you noticed my servant Job? God was bragging on Job. He said, have you seen my servant Job? Have you seen my child Tanya? Come on, yeah. Have you seen my child Ebony? Have you seen my child Greg? Sometimes God is saying some things about you behind the scenes that make Satan want to mess with you. I wish I had a witness in here today. God was bragging about Job. And here's one thing you must understand before I go in too far into this message. God knows just how strong you are and will not allow any more to be put up on you than you're able to bear. So if you're going through a test, God says you can make it through this test. You're not in anything you can't handle. You can handle this test. Come on, look at me while I'm preaching. And I want you to know the answers for the test is in the book. This is an open book test. So if you want the answers to a test, sometimes you just got to open. Look at your neighbor and say, open the book, open the book. You've been opening Facebook. You've been opening Instagram. You've been opening all the social media, but you haven't opened the right book. All the answers to don't supply. It's an answer in the book. All your needs according to his riches and prosper. Your answers are in the book. You are in somebody's phone list, but you're not in the book. Get in the book. Satan says, yes, I heard about Job. I heard about him, and the only reason he loves you is because you have a wall, a hedge of protection around him, and you made him rich. And Job chapter 1 verse 11 says, but reach out and take away everything he has. Satan says, and he will surely curse you to your face. God allowed Satan to test you. So trial after trial began to happen. You're sitting there crying about not having enough for your light bill. But listen to Job's catalog of troubles. You're tripping because the money ain't there yet. But you're still living. You're tripping because you couldn't go shopping when the sale hit. But you already have a change of clothes. Y'all gotta fix this. You're tripping because your car is not the latest one on the street. But you have adequate transportation. Sometimes we are complaining and we're already blessed. Today, look at someone, just tell them, you're already blessed. God allows Satan to test Job. One day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting at the older brother's house, one messenger after another brought Job bad news. First one, Job, your oxen were stolen by the Sabaeans. Then soon after that one left, another messenger came and said, Job, a fire came down and burned up all your sheep and the shepherds. And then while that one was finishing his report, another one came and arrived and stole all of your camels. And while that messenger was yet speaking, another one comes with the worst news of all. Job, your children were all feasting at the eldest brother's house. Y'all ain't praying with me. And a hurricane came and destroyed the house. And then, and not just destroyed the house, but all of them died under the weight of the house. All your children are dead. You just lost your wealth, everything you own, and now your children are dead. And shaved his head and fell on the ground, and the Bible says to worship. After getting all this news, y'all ain't talking to me. After getting all this news, Job decides to worship. I'm going to preach anyway. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. I said, Job decided to worship. See, we need to take a note from Job's response in the worst moments in his life. One bit of bad news after another. It kept getting worse. Worse means that it's becoming hard. But worst means that it's become the hardest to deal with. Things are already worse than it has ever been. But in the midst of it, Job decides to worship. And if you go to the dictionary, you look up the word worse, W-O-R-S-E. And you'll look up the word W-O-R-S-T. But in the middle of worst and worst is a word called worship. And if you're going to make it through the trials of things getting worse and worse, you're going to have to learn. So somebody high five and say, I got to worship this morning. Excuse my praise. Don't judge my praise. I got to come out of this mess. Things you don't know what I left at home. You don't know what I'm dealing with. But I've decided in this house that I'm going to worship God. I'm preaching this. Tell him I'm preaching this morning. Yeah, all right, now you're too late. Listen, yeah, I'm preaching this morning, baby. I don't know if you're listening, but I'm preaching this morning. Look at us and say, I'm going to worship before it gets worse. I know how to stop the devil's hand. I understand God hears me worshiping him. He knows, come on here now. He's got to come to my rescue. I dare somebody to open your mouth. Job chapter 1, verse 21. He said, I came naked from my mother's womb. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken away. Praise the name of the Lord. I'm going to read that again. Y'all didn't hear it. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken it away. Praise the name of the Lord. See, we don't mind praising when he gives, but we got to learn how to praise when he takes away. Come on here today. Lord, I know how to give you praise when you're bringing something to me, but I need to learn how to praise when you're taking something from me. And can I just help you get there real quick? If God takes something from you, there's always something better coming to you. So God, go ahead and take it away, because I know something better is coming. Tell that boy I'm preaching it here. I'm preaching it here, baby. Yes, I am. I ain't playing this one. I came to give the devil a black eye this morning. Whenever God takes something from you, he has something better for you. Tell somebody, high five again and tell them, neighbor, something good is on its way to you. I ain't there. That ain't what I'm doing. We see, sit down, sir. We see that Job's integrity is still intact after his income is removed. See, some of y'all be tripping as soon as your money gets funny. I need you to change the language. Can I help you this morning? When your money gets funny, next time, make a come tell everybody, I'm in between blessings. Something good is on its way to me. Y'all ain't talking to me. Look at someone again and say, I'm in between blessings. Satan comes back with another proposal. In verse 4, he says, Satan replied to the Lord, skin for skin. A man will give up everything he has to save his life, but reach out and take away his health, and he will surely curse you to your face. All right, do with him as you please, the Lord said to Satan, but spare his life. Don't touch everything he got, but his soul belongs to me. You see, Job now, his body is riddled with boils and sores. Domain on an ash heap. His domain is an ash heap. Put a pin right there. He's sitting there. His body is completely covered with wounds. He's sick. And here another blow come unexpectedly. The woman that bore his last name, Mrs. Job, she enjoyed the sumptuous lifestyle that Job provided. She lives with Job in his mansion. She shops with Job at Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue. She eats at the finest restaurants. She had the baddest chariot, Mercedes chariot, Rolls Royce chariot in the land. And now she walks up to Job and says, Job, I didn't sign up for all of this. We lost our children, our money is gone, and you're sitting out here sick. In Job chapter 2, verse 9 and 10, it says, his wife said to him, are you still trying to maintain your integrity? Curse God and die. But Job replied, you talk like a foolish woman. Should we accept only good things from the hand of God and never anything bad? So in all of this, Job said nothing wrong. Can I get a witness in here today? It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Now his wife turns her back on him. Oh, I don't know if you've ever been there before, but your closest sometimes be the first to run off and leave you. Y'all gonna help me preach here today? If that wasn't enough, and came to visit him from the east, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. The Bible says that they sat with Job for 7 days in silence. Can you imagine this? The people you thought that came to visit you would encourage you, but they end up examining you. Y'all ain't hear what I'm saying? And they're looking at you with judgmental disposition. Now, all three of them asked Job to confess something. Job, tell me something. What kind of sin have you committed? Nobody would be going through all of this if God wasn't mad at him. You said you're a right man, but tell me, what did you do? Did you step out on Mrs. Job? Did you sell something wrong? Did you say something wrong? Do you know how people are? Every time they're going through something, they want to know, what did you do wrong? Can I get a witness in here? Yes, have you ever been down already and people just came to accuse you? You're in the midst of divorce and someone asks you, what did you do wrong? Y'all ain't talking to me. You're filing bankruptcy and now they're asking you, how did you mismanage your money? And you're battling with cancer and they want to talk about what you used to eat. Before you judge, maybe you need to understand that somebody's misfortune may be because they're not misbehaving. Someone said, I haven't been misbehaving. My misfortune is not because I've been misbehaving. Most people associate what's going on with them because of something that they've done wrong. But maybe you're just going through something and it's not the product of misbehaving, but it's because, now get this, God is maneuvering me for more. Are y'all playing with me over there? I said, God is maneuvering me for more. Oh, y'all not praying. I'm going to say it again. God is moving me around so I can get, y'all ain't saying it, say it again, more. You're in a shift You're in the middle of a shift. You think God is moving you to a bad place, but God is moving you to a better place. Someone says it's about to get better. Say it a little bit louder. I need you to say it to your soul here. It's about to get better. I prophesy over my own life. It's about to get better. Things are getting ready to turn around for me. God ain't just moving stuff, but he's shifting things for it to become better. Now, what we always must remember, that things are always working together for our good. Encourage your neighbors, it's going to work out. They didn't get it. Talk to another neighbor. Somebody's stuck. They think they know it already. Just look at one that needs a word and say, "Now it's going to work out. It's all working out for your good." And no weapon formed against you can prosper. God is turning around. And sometimes that means that you look misplaced. I don't look like I'm in the right place. What is happening? Sometimes you got to take a loss to get a win. I don't know who this word is for, but just wave at me. Sometimes you got to go down to get up. I don't know who I'm talking to, but just wave at me, just wave at me. Sometimes you got to go backwards to go forward. Now, if you cut out Job's story at chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, you would think that Job is hopeless. But God's plan was to bring Job to an expected end. If we stop in chapter 1, 2, and 3, we're not going to get the gist of Job's story. But you got to go to chapter 42. And verse 10 says, when Job prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes. In fact, the Lord gave him twice as much as before. But when God restored his fortunes, he didn't just do it in single form. God gave him double. Come on, somebody put your hand up like that and say, I'm getting ready to receive double. If you're looking for single, but if you're looking for something double, you got to give God a double kind of praise. How about this? Not only double for my trouble, but triple for my trauma. See, don't judge my sufferings without knowing my success. I gotta close. I do. I gotta close. But I want you to go back. When Job, I'm taking my time, I'm out of time. Listen, I gotta go take you back to where Job was sitting. Was just ash heap. Where was he? And Job says, in the last part of his life, I'm back. I'm like a phoenix. I'm rising from the ashes. Oh, I don't know who's in here today, You've been sitting in ashes all week, but you need to tell the devil, I'm back now. I'm rising from the ashes. I was dead almost. But I'm like a phoenix. I'm rising from the ashes. And now I'm not going to just sit in ashes no more, but I'm getting ready to sit on top of the world. Somebody give God a praise in this house.
Well, after hearing this word today, I know that you're blessed, and you should know it as well. But let me tell you something. I want you to also understand the greatest blessing in your life is to know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. Now, today, we have 3 different invitations. You can either text the word SAVED in, or you can text the word CONNECT or DAILY. If you need to be saved, text that in right now, and someone will get with you today the information right there at the bottom of the screen. And then if you want to be connected to us, no matter where you are, all you got to do is text in the word CONNECT. And then thirdly, want to be a part of our daily devotions, just do that by texting in DAILY. Last but not least, I need you to make a great decision to be with us every morning at 7:14 for prayer. Now, let me tell you something. There is absolutely no way to start your day like starting it with the power of God in prayer. Morning glory is a must. Now, you got to get up tomorrow morning and join us at 7:14. The information is at the bottom of the screen. And I tell you what, man, there's nothing like when 2 or 3 of us come together. What about 50 or 60, 70, or even 100 come together? You know how much power is in that? Join us for prayer as we petition heaven on your behalf. Well, beloved, I know you're taking advantage of one of these great invitations, great opportunities. Your destiny is hinging on your decisions. And today, make a good decision to do one of those things I've just introduced you to. Now, at this time, let's get ready to give. Let's remember that tithing is God's way, not just the best way, the only way to be blessed. Now, I want you to remember this. Tithing takes the curse off your life. You want to be blessed. God says, I will open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. Now, you look around your house and see if you don't have more windows than you have doors. God said, I'm going to have blessings coming from every direction when you learn to obey me. Secondly, I need you to sow good seed into good ground and watch God bring forth our great harvest. Now, let me tell you, God can't trust you with that little seed that you have. You'll never be able to be trusted with the great harvest that He has coming your way. Release it so you can receive the things that God has for you in this season. There's great blessings awaiting you. Let's get ready for them. Well, beloved, until next time, I want you to remember this. I absolutely want you to be blessed like never before. But until next time, remember this. I love me some you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next time.